Jopling's foundry at Pallion was taken over by the William Cook Group, who are to transfer production to their plants in Yorkshire. The company is offering the Wearside men jobs there, but redundancy notices have been issued and the foundry will be run down early next year. Joplings, who make castings for the mining industry, have been losing money and the workers have been on short time. A campaign to secure the jobs of 7,000 power industry workers in the region was stepped up today. Trade unions at Northern Engineering Industries and the 5 district councils in Tyne and Wear have produced a document calling on the government to bring forward orders for 2 coal-fired power stations. Trading standards officers are warning about soft musical toys which are potentially lethal to children. The warning follows an incident in North Allerton in which a baby boy almost choked after swallowing a ball of cotton wool used as a decoration. The toys are made in Taiwan and sold under the name musical palamals, and the warning refers to the type which have flexible antennae on the animal's head. They're now being withdrawn from sale, but there are fears many could have already been bought as Christmas presents. Firemen are at the scene of a gas leak in Hordern, County Durham. Local traffic diversions have been set up in the Yoden Way area at the bottom of Peterlee Bank, while gas engineers try to stop the leak. Right, let's take a look at the weather now. There'll be showers in the south of the region, but it'll stay dry in the north with a ground frost. Minimum temperature 2 degrees Celsius, that's 36 Fahrenheit, and icy roads have already caused several road accidents tonight, so watch out if you're driving. Tomorrow, dry and bright with sunny periods, turning cloudy later. Top temperatures 7 Celsius, 45 Fahrenheit, with a light breeze. That's the local forecast. Now let's have a look at the national picture as we join Michael Fish.
Good evening to you. Well, I'm just about to have the roof taken off my house, and one look at the weather map for the weekend will show you it's going to be very stormy, and I'm not sure whether the winds will get there first or the builder. As you can see, as we come into the weekend, these very cold northwesterly winds are going to push their way down, so some very windy weather, some very heavy showers pushing along. And in the cold weather, I think there could be some snow in those showers, even as far south as the southern hills. Anyway, if we come back to tonight, we've got this little low pressure area crossing the country now. This is giving a good deal of rain, and I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail. But there's the one that's going to brew up for the weekend. But let's come back to this one now and have a look at the rainfall picture associated with it. You can see that blob over virtually England and Wales. I'll tell you what, let's get in a little bit closer and have a look at some of the detail. Well, there's the British Isles sitting underneath this great mass of cloud and rain. There is some fairly heavy rain mixed in that too, even some thunderstorms. In fact, just as I came down from the studio, down to the studio, the radar showed me that there were some thunderstorms over the western part of the Midlands, and they're tracking their way northeastwards. The heaviest of the rain just to the north of London, the West Midlands, and a little bit further north. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to hear of it snowing over the Pennines and the North Welsh mountains. Anyway, as we go through the night, clearer weather will be coming in behind, but still, as you see by the morning, that cloud and rain on the eastern side. That'll be clearing away later on tomorrow, but then more rain pushing its way in from the west right across the country before the end of tomorrow evening. Anyway, a bit more detail then, and that's where the rain is at the moment. The heaviest of the rain and storms, as I say, really in the West Midlands. They're going to work their way northeastwards and then across out into the North Sea. And at the same time, clearer weather tucking its way in. But that clearer weather means colder weather too. And by the end of the night, there could be a frost in southwest England, Wales, but more particularly up in the north. So some icy patches, I think, on some of the roads. Quite a bright start in most places, but still this cloud and rain in the southeast. That'll be clearing away in the morning, and then some sunshine, the best of the sunshine, up through central parts of England, northeast England, southeast Scotland. But it's not going to last, because by the end of the afternoon, more rain into the west, and that rain is going to push its way, as we've already said, right across the country before the end of tomorrow evening. It's going to be a cold day again tomorrow. Highest temperatures about 8 Celsius. That's it. Bye-bye.
Hello from Paddy and from me, and welcome to the stage where tomorrow night BBC Television will be holding their Children in Need appeal. Throughout the evening, celebrities will be dropping into the studio. People like comedians Russ Abbott, Les Dennis in the cast from Allo Allo. Superman, Christopher Reeve, will be here, as will Barry McGuigan. Fab people, neither of whom I would wish to argue with. Roy Castle will be trying to set a new tap dancing world record, while on a less athletic level, some of the EastEnders cast will be coming west to see us. Terry Wogan and Sue Cook will be in the studio to keep us up to date with how well the appeal is doing, as well as explaining how donations for the appeal can be made. So join us to help children in need, starting on Friday night at 7 o'clock. See you then.
Over on BBC2 shortly, 40 Minutes will be rummaging around in the English woman's wardrobe, including the Prime Minister's. Here on One in half an hour, this week's Question Time, with MPs Alan Clark and Dennis Skinner, and Anne Burgess and Janice Lennon joining Robin Day around the table. Before that, it's a question of romance, as we join Penny and Vince, who, despite all their differences, seem somehow to remain just good friends. Paul Nicholas is now appearing in Charlie Girl at the Victoria Palace, London.
Liftoff is at 12:25 on BBC1 tomorrow when we go for our last Airport 86 programme. We'll be taking a look at the past, the present and the future of aviation in this country and around the world. We'll also be catching up with John Stevens, our pilot we've been following through this week. He took off for Paris tonight. We'll be catching up with Paula Peterson. We last spoke to her in Singapore. She's our air hostess this week. And we'll find out what's happened to the Raglan Castle, the 757 aircraft we've been following. Live on BBC1, 12:25 tomorrow.
And on BBC1 now, we join Sir Robin Day and this week's guests for Question Time.